Turning now to quotations in Chicago-style formatting. A prose quote that exceeds 5 lines in length should be blocked. I'm going to talk specifically about blocked quotes. Quotes that are less than 5 lines in length occur within quotation marks, just in line with the rest of the body of the paragraph. Block quotes, however, are single-spaced and indented an additional 0.5 inches from the margin. Also, be sure to leave a line space both before and after the quote. So let's take a look at an example. This is how a block quote would appear in a body of text. So the first thing to notice is that both before and after the quote there is a line space. So the paragraph actually is beginning above the block quote, there's a line space, and then the quote itself begins. Also notice that the block quote is indented that additional 0.5 inches from the margin, so it's flush with the first indented line of the paragraph. Finally, also notice that when the paragraph resumes following the quote, it's not indented. And the reason for this is because the blocked quote, even though it has a different formatting with being single-spaced and has those line breaks, it still does occur within the text of the paragraph. So just like a quote that was less than 5 lines and therefore not blocked would be within the body of a paragraph, so too is the blocked quote. It just receives a little bit of formatting to make it clear and stand out. For emphasis, just like with MLA and APA, the words emphasis added are called for. However, with Chicago style, it occurs in the footnote section. So we'll take a look at an example. So here is the previous example that we looked at for the formatting on a citation. But this would be, rather than what we looked at before, the bibliographic note, this would be a footnote. And if something inside of the quote is altered to show emphasis, such as an italicized word, then you have to designate that you have altered the original formatting or the original information by adding the words emphasis added at the end of your citation. Regarding quotation punctuation, Chicago calls for punctuation marks inside of the quotation marks, with the exception of colons and semicolons. These are placed outside of quotation marks. Question marks and exclamation points depend on whether they clarify the meaning of the quotation, in which case they would be placed inside, or the surrounding sentence as a whole, which they would be placed outside. So you would place a question mark or exclamation point inside of the quotation marks if you were clarifying the meaning of the quotation within your text, within the paragraph, but outside of the quotation marks if your quotation occurs as part of a sentence with original wording.